What's going on, you guys? So, check it right. Stogy T's album titled Anomi finally dropped, and one song on the project caught all the attention from the hip-hop audience. Now, I'm obviously talking about Four Horsemen, which features A-Reece, Maggz, and Nasty C. Now, the moment we found out about this record, it automatically became one of the most, if not the most anticipated records of this year. I mean, it's the first time we get Reece and Nasty on the same record, which is huge for the game because, let's be honest, it's definitely monumental. But I still don't agree with the way Stogie went about getting the features. But at the same time, I can't lie, I do appreciate the final outcome. Now, when it comes to the record itself, we had homage beats on the production, and I must say that the way he cooked up this beat, well, it gave me that 90s inspired New York feel. I mean, it just sounded grimy and gritty, just setting the tone for these niggas to come kill it. And that's what they did. I mean, we had Stogie start off with his verse, and even though everyone delivered, he was my least favorite on the record. And I say that because to me, it just sounded like he was spamming his whole verse with references. I mean, he was talking about figures in relation to movies as well as the Bible. Like, there was no level of emotion, feeling, or relatability. Instead, you try to come off as complex, which is cool, but it's not really my type of rap that I tend to resonate with. But what I will say is that he entered certain pockets so seamlessly whilst rapping, and that's what I found impressive. I mean, this nigga is elite at the end of the day. But anyways, let's get into it. Now, the verse is a flex built on struggle, originality, and spiritual strength. Stogie contrasts his rise from oppressed roots with the fake trend following people around him, showing how discipline, grit, and faith shaped him into someone powerful and self-made. Through imagery of leaders, fighters, luxury, and biblical figures, he highlights his uniqueness, his refusal to bow to anyone but God, and his dominance over imitators. I mean, in the end, the message is simple. He comes from hardship, he elevated himself through skill and authenticity, and he's on a level no one else can match with. Now, with that said, I did like some of the lines from his verse, especially when he said the following: change beef into gourmet plates, get streams, but don't follow waves. St. Peter, I walked on water, frozen lakes. So, Stogie first speaks on turning conflict and hardship, beef, into success and high quality results like gourmet plates. He then speaks on getting music streams without chasing trends, following waves, which was a nice play on words. And then he compares himself to St. Peter walking on water, but he did it metaphorically by overcoming impossible situations like frozen lakes, which makes him more literal. Now, Stogie also said, every pen sweep is a brain teaser, you won't relate. Now, he's speaking on his writing being complex and layered, where not everyone might be able to understand it, which tends to be the most common criticism he receives when it comes to his music. Now, the last lines I want us to speak on is when he said the following: broken faith, but they chained Jesus, them gold-plated. Cane dealer, these aliens come from the lowest lane, a shade deeper than A. Hitler's chosen race. Now, with these lines, right, Stogie speaks on the people who claim to be religious, but only wear Jesus pieces as jewelry, almost like they've lost real faith. He then speaks on how individuals who come from the harshest conditions, lowest lane, well, they are seen as aliens because it's not normal that they've managed to survive and persevere. Now, it should be noted that it was a play on words because it sounded like he said lowest lane, which is Superman's significant other, and we know Clark Kent came from humble beginnings as well, despite him being an alien with godlike abilities. Now, Stogie also speaks on a dark reference comparing his skin color to Hitler's race ideology, where he flips it because he's darker than the chosen race, reclaiming power in his identity. So, a solid verse from Stogie, but based on my preference and the other niggas featured on this record, it was my least favorite. But with that said, let's move on to one of my favorite verses, which was Maggz. Now, I say one of my favorites because he actually had substance with his verse. Like, if you followed his career from back in the day, you'll understand where he's coming from with this one. And that's what I appreciate. So we hear Maggz speak on asserting his skill, consistency, and status, noting how others fall apart under pressure while he stays solid. He remembers how people celebrated his struggles, but he moved past it, focusing instead on growth, money, and the consequences of what success brings, jealousy and envy. He frames himself as spiritually guided and influential, someone whose style shaped other rappers at a core level. He emphasizes his mastery of the craft and strong connection to the streets and fans, who recognize the subtle shots he throws. The verse ends with a reflection on the culture, how the streets, rap, and conflict molded him, how many legends have been lost, and how today's artists often lack respect, longevity, or evolution. He questions which rappers will truly last and which will fade into obscurity now. I like how Maggz ends off his verse like that, because next up on the record are the new kings on the block, which happen to be A-Reece and Nasty, who both have had their fair share of rocky interactions with the OGs in the game, but in the end they still show respect and have the same level of appreciation for them. Now at the same time, these two have touched a decade in the game, becoming OGs themselves, which is beautiful to witness. Now let's actually speak on Reece's verse, and I like how he starts off by saying, "It's funny how this money hasn't made me change my ways. Instead, it did it to those I gave a taste of my fame." Now with these lines, right, we can hear Reece speak on his former crew members that he put on, and how the money that he was making didn't necessarily change him, but rather the individuals he once called his friends. Now, this falls into the friendship and be chill trope that people tend to say Reece only raps about. But if that part of his life still affects him, then who are we to judge him if this is him just expressing himself? Now, after those lines, right, this nigga takes a little breather, kind of insinuating that he's about to go off, and that's what he exactly did. I mean, this nigga Reece is venturing into that Stogie caliber of rap, and I say that because his usage of words, like how he comes up with certain punchlines, or I guess entendres, is so effortless. I mean, he had lines like, I'm more than nice, a diamond in the rough. You soft niggas more like moissanite. The more I write, your favorite rapper turns into a poltergeist. I turn into Yagami Light. So with these lines, right, Reece first starts off by stating that he's still exceptionally talented, still improving, and naturally valuable like an unpolished diamond, whereas the other niggas are like moissanite, which happens to look like a diamond, but it isn't because of its properties, like it being soft. I mean, Reece is pretty much calling other rappers fake and cheap versions of himself. He also speaks on his pen being elite to the point where it makes other rappers seem invisible and irrelevant like ghosts. Now, this could be a jab towards Casper because, Reece has been throwing subliminals towards him over the years. So this wouldn't be out of the norm for him to do. Plus, Reece just believes he's a better writer and rapper compared to Cass. So I do believe this was directed towards him. Now, Reece also makes reference to the main protagonist of the anime series Death Note, where Yagami Light discovers a supernatural notebook, allowing him to kill anyone by writing their name while knowing their face, adopting the alias Kira, which is also a Japanese pronunciation of killer. So, cool. Reece had other clever lines like, "Let's be honest, they're trying to stop the rain, but they struggle to match the climate. I've always been the wave and these niggas wavered behind it. They know I'm spitting fire, that's why they're dancing around it. Instead of paying me homage, let's go." Now with these lines, Reece played with a lot of these words. The usage of rain has two meanings, the first being to rule as a monarch, insinuating that the rest of the game are trying to stop his dominance, but they can't handle the level he's operating at. And the second meaning speaks to the weather, as in the droplets of water from a storm, which also can't be stopped either. He then speaks on how people avoid acknowledging his talents because they fear of admitting he's superior. Now, that's one interpretation of the line, but spitting fire and niggas dancing around it could also speak to the Native Americans who often dance around fire because of its spiritual or I guess cultural significance. Now, with these lines, I also like how he incorporated the elements of water and fire to create such imagery with these words. Only a few are able to execute that so vividly, but besides that, just to summarize his verse and everything he spoke on, right? This is a confident declaration of lyrical superiority where Reece calls himself a rare, genuine talent while mocking others as cheap imitations. He portrays his pen as deadly, claims he determines who's truly legitimate, and dismisses rivals as weak, overhyped, and mishandled by their labels. He asserts that he ends careers effortlessly, wins publicly like a champion, leads the culture while others follow, and notes that opponents avoid giving him credits because his skill is too intimidating to acknowledge. So, just a lot of bravado in his raps, and someone who followed suit was Nasty C. I mean, this nigga excelled on this joint start to finish, especially with how he started his verse off, basically addressing his critics like myself, who believe he should rap more and put the auto-tune aside like he did on this record. I mean, this is the Nasty that majority of us fell in love with, and it honestly took me back to the Pride City days. But as I said, he addresses his critics by saying, "These niggas think I got racks and then forgot how to rap. Like I forgot how to breathe, like I forgot all my ABCs, head, shoulders, and knees. I am rap. You little niggas think I forgot how to me?" So, firstly, right, just like Reece, Nasty makes mention of money changing oneself, but from his point of view, he feels like the hip-hop landscape, or I guess the audience, sort of think he changed his approach to his art because he started making more money. In essence, he took the more commercial routes with his sound instead of sticking to the lyricism that initially gained him his audience. But Nasty is making it known that even though he still has all this success, his ability to put pen to paper hasn't changed. It's natural for him, like breathing or like ABC, where in essence he is rap. So how could he forget to do this? Which I mess with, but if that's the case, let's hear you in this bag more. I'm not saying abandon your trap melodic sound because that would be stupid, but at least balance it out because lyrical Nasty could definitely be a problem for the rest of the game. And he proves that with the next few lines, showcasing his ability to be witty with his words. I mean, he said the following: "You see me splitting that green with the whites, I got connects like Legos, hitting licks like gay hoes, that's a milli guaranteed like I'm attending a Wayne show." Now, you can interpret those first two lines in so many ways. I mean, the green and the white speaks to the Nigerian flag, especially because Nasty mentions Lagos, which is the largest city in Nigeria. Then we have the construction toys Legos, where the pieces are green and white and you can connect them. And lastly, we have the narcotics with the weed and the cocaine that Nasty is splitting, emphasized by the connects he has in Lagos. I mean, them niggas are known for being drug dealers and other things, but besides that, this was insane wordplay by Nasty. I mean, that was pretty much a triple entendre if I'm not mistaken. I also like the Wayne line, which was also a double because of the Amelie wordplay. So you can tell Nasty really thought this one out. Now he also starts to showcase his bravado by saying the following: "I can't argue with no nigga whose net worth is my raincoat, thumbs fast but your brain slow, pussy." And then he had other lines which I found myself appreciating when he said the following: "These days I value my silent moves and my solitude. You want to fix your life? Then in these books is where you'll find the tools. Every day I wake up and I'm me, nigga, hallelujah. I've done a promise to myself and I'ma follow through. Hate being away from home, gotta do what I gotta do. The stakes are higher than they've ever been. It's not the time to lose." Now the lines express a focus on personal growth, discipline, and maturity. I mean, Nasty values moving quietly, protecting his peace, and improving himself through knowledge. And he's committed to keeping promises to himself even when work pulls him away from home. And he recognizes that the pressure is higher than ever, so he can't afford to slip or lose focus. So a really dope verse from Nasty, and I do need to note that he killed that hook as well. I mean, his versatility was on full display here. Like, what compelled him to take that approach, especially because it had that Jamaican feel to it? All I know is that I need more of this from Nasty. I just find it funny that Nasty is getting a lot of praise for really rapping again. But when some of his fans like myself were wishing for him to return to this sound, we were called haters. I mean, you have dumb niggas on X who really have no clue what their favor's capable of. All they know is the auto-tune and the melodies, leading me to think that y'all were never really there from the beginning, or even took the time to play his earlier work from his catalog to educate yourself. Because if that was really the case, you wouldn't get offended when the real fans want Nasty to rap again. The real ones know that this nigga gets busy with the pen, and he proved it with this verse. But overall, this was a solid posse cut where all four of these niggas delivered. Stogie might have not had my favorite verse, but he was the most witty, and his flow and cadence were exceptional. When it comes to Maggz, every line of his had substance, where he really put things into perspective for the audience, which I appreciated. Now, when it comes to A-Reece, this nigga was technical, but he still had substance at the same time, giving you the best of both worlds, which most of these niggas can't even execute. So a clear standout for me. I mean, based on my own preference, his verse was the best for me. Now, when we get to Nasty, he sounded the most refreshing out of the four, because we know this isn't really his bag, but he excelled. Plus, his delivery was flawless, almost as good as Stogie's. So we need more of this from this nigga. But with all that said, you guys let me know your thoughts on this. Did you enjoy the record, and who had the best verse for you? Comment down below. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to hit that like button if you found the content dope, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's on to the next one. Peace.